you can do without a repairman.
Right.
Yeah, why some filters are better than
Why
others,
does-
or, you know, something to do about replacing your filters, like posting at the beginning of each month.
Calendaring
Check your filters.
Just to
and,
remind.
Yeah.
yeah, reminders, ways to remind yourself. What else? You guys are teaching the class, you realize, right?
Yeah,
I'm not playing off on it. I really want you guys to all have something to take out
you're
today.
being helped today, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm thinking about like how to make things efficient where one, it would it would still make you feel comfortable.
Okay.
It would be cost efficient,
Okay.
plus maybe avoid a possible phone call to him.
Yep. Yeah, so again, you're providing that information. You're providing, and the same as we did in computer, valuable information that you can do to keep your stuff from breaking down. And all of that you're providing, eventually catastrophic failure, breakdown does happen. Who do they call? They're gonna call
Because he's there.
Effort.
Well, a comparison of like a typical house, like if you set your temperature at this versus if you set your temperature at this, show them maybe how much they
Yeah.
can.
Wear and tear on the machine
Savings.
and dollar savings based on where your tip's at.
Green tips.
Green tips are big,
Ooh, I
huge,
like that.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was comparing units, different types of units, different manufacturers of units as well.
Yeah, yeah. Which ones use less energy, cost less?
There's also the new gadgets too on that end, because they came out with a new thermostat, the learning thermostat. The guy that developed the iPad look and feel actually developed an actual learning thermostat.
Okay.
Like stuff.
Okay,
And there's
awesome.
an app on your phone that you can adjust your temperatures when you're away and coming out.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's absolutely,
Use that.
yeah.
And common problems.
Common problems, yep, absolutely. So again, those are all potential categories. One of the categories I didn't jump into yet, I think every one of you need to maybe potentially look at this if you're not already as a business. What's a nonprofit or cause? So we talked about cause for David. You may already be, Race for the Cure, or you may already be involved in one. That's another topic that you need to present in all of the same ways, video, pictures, etc. In that, again, you're showing diversity of person, because people want to be connected to a person, not a business. So the more you can show that you're a human in your engagement and in your process, that's part of it, right? So there's value in communicating that, and again, I see that as a more valuable company if I see them have those interests.
I'll just give you an example for my online retail, Amazing Teas. I talk a lot about endangered species because people that are interested in the environment usually are also interested in saving animals.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of information on my website, and I'm always posting pictures of
Absolutely.
endangered tigers,
Absolutely.
and it just brings a little more color to the site too.
Absolutely. A great segment that I would say gives a little more balance, so that it's not always buy me, buy me, buy me, my stuff is great, I'm the best in the industry. It's what are those other pieces like that to add again to a topic, and then we're going to calendar and give balance of post.
And something else that's really important, if you do support a charity, if you go to events, make sure to bring some of your employees or people from your business and
Yep.
take pictures and
Take
then
pictures,
post them, because
yes.
people don't want you
Yes.
to just contribute money. They
Yeah.
want you to also be invested in it.
Yeah.
It needs to be sincere,
Yes.
because I have
Yes.
seen
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
I'll give 10%
Yeah.
for something, and
Exactly, and that shows sincerity that you're actually there participating
Absolutely.
with the rest of
So within all
people
of
out
this,
there.
you have an overarching responsibility to authenticity, transparency. If you fake that, you're going to get eaten up eventually. You'll stumble, and people will see through it, and they'll call you out, and they'll bury you. I mean, so
The other thing is long-term. I'm seeing in various people, I don't know whether it's tires or whatever it is, this ability, they're jumping ahead and looking at how you might finance it if you don't have the money. I think people don't call on their air conditioners and all of that because they're afraid there'll be a price tag that's much bigger down the line. So it's sort of fear of the unknown, right? And so I'm noticing all sorts of vendors who have already jumped to, if in fact you want to do a whole set of tires or whatever, there's just a whole bunch of that going on in various industries about how you might consider financing if in fact when maintenance is done and
That's true, because I actually walked through that very process with my AC unit, and I put it off and put it off and put it off.
Yeah,
Because I didn't want to spend the $6-7 grand to drop a new one into my
Right.
locations. I was just, and I'm just going to repair. And I finally called the person in, and it was like, that's it. That's all I needed to do. So that inevitable. So communicating, understanding that we're feeling that, and speaking to that would be highly valuable, because your audience is fearful that you're going to come out and they're going to have to drop
All their
$10,000 on a new machine because.
Well, that's why maintenance would prevent it.
Absolutely. So in speaking about maintenance, you can speak to this will prevent this, and
Or
understand.
we can keep any old thing going for another 7 years.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Extending
it might not be cost efficient, but
Yeah.
I mean,
It can't be done.
yeah, I've got clients that got air conditioners that are older than ours. Cool.
Right on. Okay. So let's jump to another business. How are we doing? We're doing okay. We're going to need to jump to some other stuff quickly and start translating the calendar. Okay.
I don't want to take it because I did that a few weeks ago unless somebody else wants to. So I don't want to.
Okay.
You want to?
We can do it
Okay,
quickly.
you haven't done it. I did it.
Landscaping.
Yes. We've got plants, trees, airspeed, gardening in Tucson,
Uh-huh.
all of those things.
Yeah. So her audience. Tell me your audience, your target. Do you have?
Homeowners associations and commercial property.
Okay. So you're talking B2B a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay.
we do both, but mostly B2B.
You're doing a lot of B2B, so how would she communicate in ways that show her expertise? What channel? So LinkedIn would be a big channel, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And what would you be saying to a homeowners association that they would value? So it's different from a homeowner in that I just want you to tell me when to trim my tree, or when I should cut my bushes back, or whatever. You're providing expert information?
Right, something like a tree inventory, as
Okay.
opposed to trimming your one tree.
Yeah.
Or what kind of things to plant, if you're a homeowners association that are gonna take less water and things like that.
Yeah, that would be big.
You know.
Green, less water, less maintenance, less cost to the organization
Maybe
over
what's
time.
what's local to the environment so that
Right, native
they
plants.
take less.
Native plants, yes,
Native,
absolutely.
that's the
Big
word I
buzz
was thinking.
topics for businesses. What else?
Ways
What
to-
type of
ways to
gardens you can
save,
plant?
yeah.
But I'm sorry.
What type of gardens you can plant and how often to water the.
Okay.
I don't.
What's
Okay.
good about pests?
Pests.
Control.
Okay. Pest control. Okay.
When it's time to trim, when it's time to cut.
Yeah, so like basic
Weeds.
calendar.
Some of that overlaps. There is some overlap in that a company would need to know it and an individual would need to know it. However, there are definitely some interests. So you would have definitely two channels. One is business to business, one is business to consumer, and you would define maybe three topics per that you're going to utilize to communicate to them in laying out your calendar.
You could also talk about things like the new fake grasses and where best to utilize them and what traffic does to them and.
Right, and which ones don't get so hot that they burn your feet and, stuff like that, right? What else?
How to clean them.
How to clean them, big, yeah,
Pet
absolutely.
safety, pet
Pets.
plants.
Absolutely. Anything that you can do to tie into pets and animals, people love it. It's kind of one of those things. You'll find. I had a comment yesterday with a client, and they said, every time I post about animals, people just go crazy talking to me about it. But so it's a little frustrating to them that their postings on their expertise doesn't get the massive engagement that a cute picture of a cat does. However, within the engagement process, you're trying to touch those hot buttons that your clients have, whatever they may be. Your audience cares about something. The more you discover that, the more they feel like they know you, the company, a person, the company, instead of just a cold, hard steel company. Does that make sense? So you can't go crazy and just post cats, right? Because again, that's not diverse. You need to have, what's your message? Communicate your message, but mix in, you know, Friday. What's happening Friday? TGIF. You know, that celebration that everybody does every
No,
Friday,
you-
right?
You get that covered.
I did. I posted that today.
What's interesting is that what you're just talking about is with your customers, is listen to them, care about them, and that's in the connection.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we'll talk a little bit, the next step. All right, we need to transition. So now you grab your calendar, okay? Now, I don't calendar